Hey. Hey, everyone. I haven't been on live in a while. Hey. So, hey, Dustin. Hey, Keeping Up with Shelly. Hey, Mesia, a myth. Hey, y'all. So, as you come in, drop your hays in the chat. Check in. Let me see. Tonight is going to be good. It's going to be so juicy. I haven't been on live in a minute. Hey, Monique. Hey, Regina. Tonight, we are talking about some juicy stuff, y'all. I'm going to be sharing a story, or maybe even a couple of stories, about some of my past successful launches. I really want to talk about my shoe boutique launch and kind of like my process and how I did that. And I'll also be sharing how you can market your own launch with my new and improved course. And then hopefully we have some time to answer some questions, because I really want to answer you guys' questions about launch. So we're going to get to some good things tonight, okay? I'm sharing my launch success stories and how I was able to accomplish that. We're also going to talk about how you can market your own launch and how my new and improved course can help you. And I'm going to answer some of y'all questions. Does that sound exciting? Let me know. Hey, Clothy Gammy. I hope I said it right. Clothy Gammy or Clothy Gammy? Hey. So we're going to get into some things, right? And so I'm super excited to be live because I didn't post a video all week. I did Launchathon last week and it was so good, but it was also a lot, right? So Launchathon, if you don't know, is hey mom, why does my connection say unstable? Hold on one second, y'all. I'm gonna connect my what you call it, my hard wire internet, and I'll be right back. 1 second. Let me fix that. Can y'all hear me now? It said my internet was unstable, so I hardwired it, I said.
Oh.
Yeah. Perfect. So I forgot what I was saying, y'all, but I think I was saying I'm excited to be live because I haven't posted a video all week, because last week was actually Launchathon, where I shared a video every day for 7 days straight, and it was all about launching. It was all about, really, it was frequently asked questions that I get when people are preparing to launch their business. And I felt like I needed to share that information. So we created Launchathon, which I think was amazing. So if y'all watched Launchathon, let me know in the chat. Did you watch Launchathon? Did you watch all of the videos within Launchathon? What did you think about it? Was it good? I hope you enjoyed it. Because Launchathon was something that I actually did a version of Launchathon last year, but last year I only did like 3 videos back to back. This year we took it up a notch and we did 7 videos straight. On top of that, we did an extra amount of work on it. So with the edits, we put in more edit work. We also created a flyer for it, and we posted about each video that we dropped every single day via email, on social media, and on YouTube. So we put so much into Launchathon this year. That was a lot of work for me, a lot of work for my editor, a lot of work for my VA. And so we decided that this week I wouldn't have any videos. I would kind of take a break to just really catch my breath a little bit, so that way we could get back into the swing of things next week. But Launchathon was really, really good. So if you watched it, let me know in the chat, and let me know if you had a favorite video from Launchathon. Let me know what it was. So drop it in the chat. Let me see. Drop it in the chat if you caught Launchathon. If you didn't catch Launchathon, let me know why you didn't catch it yet, because it was good. It was good. Let me see. Regina said yes. Marcia said yes, ma'am. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes. And how did you enjoy it? How was Launchathon? Was it good? Did it answer some of your burning questions that you had? Let me know. So I do a lot of like talking and I like call and response. So when I ask questions, don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. So that way we can talk back and forth to each other. Okay. But Lunchthon was really good. One of my favorite videos was probably the vlog that I put up. Not really because it was like a day in the life, but more so because towards the end of the vlog, I was able to have like a motivational sit down about the fears of launching, which I thought was really on point because a lot of people are scared to launch. They do all of this work, right? They get the product, they test out the product, they get the logo made, they do all the things, they get the pretty packaging and all of this stuff. But then as they're getting closer to their launch date, they start to hesitate, right? They start to get really, really scared about launching. And a lot of things go through your head. Either you want your launch to be super perfect or you're scared of what may happen. And so thoughts start to flood your head and it really makes you not even want to like push live on your website anymore, and you kind of just want to push it back or like just go in a box and hide. But then you look at it and you're like, I spent all this money, I spent all this time, so what am I going to do? And believe it or not, a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, they just like throw all the products and all their effort into a closet and they move on and never launch that business. Or some, they'll just keep pushing back their launch repeatedly, time after time. And then a year will go by, or months will go by, multiple years will go by, and they never launched that business. And so we don't want to let fear hold us back. I know that it's something that it's kind of inevitable, right? Like you're going to have second thoughts sometimes. But what I realized when it comes to launching either a new business or a new collection, we don't really know what will happen until we do the thing. And so when we think about all of the negative things that may happen, it's really just our brains either trying to protect us from this shift of change that is about to happen for us, which could be really, really positive, right? We could launch this business or launch this new collection and end up making six figures, or we can end up changing our lives in some type of way, whether it's like quitting our 9 to 5 or retiring someone in our family or saving up for our children's college fund. Whatever goal it is that we have, launching that business or launching that new product or collection could be the key to that future success that we want. And so sometimes our brain doesn't really know how to process change. And then it makes us start to fear the actual like step forward that we need to take to get on like the other side, if that makes sense, right? And so when it comes to fear, hey Danielle, when it comes to fear, right, it's like a double-edged sword to me. I've realized, like, after reflecting on my experiences and talking to a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, that the fear of launching something new honestly comes from like two core reasons. One is the brain thing that I just explained, where your brain is trying to protect you from all of the unknown things. And honestly, there are a lot of good things that you just don't know about because maybe you grew up a certain way and you weren't exposed to that. So your brain doesn't know how to process that, right? And then the second core reason that we fear is also because we're not really prepared. And it's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes when you're prepping to launch your business or you're prepping to launch this new thing, this new collection, and you're scared about it, it's because you haven't put in the preparation as far as strategy goes. Yeah, you may have made the product, or yeah, you may have sourced the product from the vendor and did the packaging and did all the cutesy things, but have you actually poured time into creating a strategy for your launch? Literally, whenever I ask aspiring entrepreneurs this, 80% of the times I get a no. And that is the core reason behind the fear that they have, right? And I actually related this back to when I used to dance back in the day, right? So I used to dance for my church and for other things. And I actually used to go to parties a lot with my cousins back in the day. And we had kind of like this in sync type of movement that we would always do, because we would practice like on our downtime. If we were hanging out like after school or whatever the case may be, we would practice the hottest songs. We're practicing the dance moves. We're stretching, making sure we got our splits down packed. We're doing all the things. So then when it was time for us to go to the party, right? And that song came on that we had been practicing for weeks or whatever the case may be, we were able to just confidently go full throttle, bust out the splits, do all the movements, throw it back, do all the things, right? And we were able to confidently do that, knowing that we were going to shut the party down. There were even times where we had dance battles with other people. Like, this is so nostalgic to me right now, but there were even times where we had dance battles with other girls, and we were confident that we were going to win all the time. The three of us, we knew that we were going to go in there and shut it down, and that was going to be it. And on the flip side, there were times where we had performances that we were ill prepared for. We didn't spend the time to practice day in, day out. We rushed to put together choreography for it. And then for those performances, we would always be super nervous right before. Whether or not we performed well at the end of the day, we were always scared about it. We didn't want to step on stage sometimes because we were nervous, because we didn't have the preparation, right? Versus when we were prepared, well, not really even preparing for parties, but when we were like in our downtime, we were strategizing dance moves for the parties that were to come, which is crazy to me. Have y'all ever did that before? Like back in the day, you ever practice a dance in the mirror, or maybe you have sisters or cousins or something like that, that you just know when a certain song comes on, that it is about to be lit. Like there's a certain move, there's a certain choreography that you just bust out naturally because you have practiced it in behind closed doors or in your living room or something like that, right? That was literally what we used to do. And so I want you to think about your launch kind of like prepping for a dance party, or kind of like prepping for a performance, where the more you practice and perfect your strategy, the better it's going to be, right? Hey, Keisha. Because if you don't do any of that stuff and you show up, you're going to look crazy at the party. You're going to get shown out. People are going to look at you and be like, where did this girl come from? What is she doing? Like, what is going on here? Right? Or even if it is a performance on a stage, you're going to get booed. Like Apollo, you're going to get booed off the stage, right? And so Macia said that was always me and my cousins, right? Isn't that crazy that we used to prepare for things on our downtime, and it was honestly just fun to us, but it's automatic. Even now, there's certain songs that I'll hear and it automatically comes to me. Like in November, for example, I hit 100K on YouTube, and we had a celebration, and certain songs, it was like I immediately knew what move to do to those songs, and it was immediately in sync because of the practice I had done years before. And so that is honestly how it is when you're launching too, especially with a new business. All of the stuff that you do before you actually launch, all the things that go within your strategy, those things will continuously show up after you launch too. All the work you put into your launch marketing strategy, all of the launch you put into building your brand's foundation, that shows up afterwards. That's going to continue to show up on your entrepreneurship journey, because entrepreneurship is not a straight path. Entrepreneurship has a lot of curves, a lot of ebbs and flows. It's a roller coaster ride, to be completely honest. And you're going to realize that you're going to go into that toolkit of your brand foundation, or the toolkit of that marketing strategy that you learned how to build for your launch. You're going to go into that toolkit and be able to pull out the right tool at the right time, because you had all of this, all of the preparation, all the strategy beforehand. Lavonda said fear versus preparation. Exactly. I'd rather be prepared and have jitters versus ill prepared, knowing that I didn't really do anything like beforehand and super scared about it. Right. I much rather be prepared and just have a little bit of jitters. And so I shared that story because, the vlog was my favorite, because we talked about fear and all those things. And I know that fear is one of the biggest things that stops us from launching. You may have had a business idea. You may have even had the products and everything in front of you for weeks or for months, but you never put thought into what your launch marketing strategy would look like. And therefore, you continuously will feel like you're not prepared. You're going to continue to feel like you're not ready. When in reality, all you need to do is put the pieces together for your strategy. All you need to do is confidently know that you have a launch marketing strategy in place, you have a strong brand foundation that you've built, and you are confident and ready for the best performance of your life, which is going to be the launch of this business or the launch of this new collection. Okay. And so I want to talk to y'all a little bit about just a part of my journey, right? Because I have a lot of different stories that I can share, but I shared my entrepreneurship journey story before on YouTube. I have a whole video on it, and a lot of you guys love that video. But I realized that I don't think I shared as much about my shoe boutique experience. So I want to share tonight about that launch experience, right? How it was for me, the thoughts and feelings that I had, as well as the things that I did that made that launch successful for me. So when I was launching my shoe boutique, I actually had the goal of making $500 in sales. And I also had the goal of building an email list of 100 people. And I don't remember exactly what my follower goal was at the time. I was on Instagram, and I believe that was it. I don't remember what my follower goal was, but before my launch, I ended up having 1,000 people on my email list. Right before my launch, I want to say I had maybe 500 or 600 followers on Instagram. And within like my first full month of being open, I had hit 1,000 on Instagram. And then as far as sales, when I launched, I actually ended up blowing my goal of 500 out of the water because I made over $1,000 when I launched my shoe boutique, and that was my first week, right? And so for me, I was working in corporate America, and I was making a certain amount every year. So to make $1,000 in a week when I had set the goal to make $500 my first month was insane to me. And when I really thought about it, I thought about, okay, well, I actually did the proper steps in order to see the results that I saw. And I knew exactly what I did. I could pinpoint exactly what I did. And I knew if I would have went back in time, what I could amplify to even make more money or to even get more people on my email list. And a lot of us who have launched and it didn't go so well, some of you guys can't even pinpoint what went wrong the first time because you didn't really have a strategic plan laid out where you can look at it and reflect and say, oh, okay, well, I know if I would have sent out a couple more emails, I would have gotten closer to my goal. Or if I would have posted more content like this, I would have gotten closer to my goal. Or if I would have tweaked this ad in this way, I would have gotten closer to my goal. A lot of entrepreneurs can't say that when they have failed launches because they never had the strategy plan in the first place. Okay. And so if you have launched before and you are thinking about relaunching or your launch was a fail the first time, let me know in the chat box so I could just know who you are and give you specific examples. But hey, Des. Hey. And so the Lounge Boutique, we're actually gonna have some Q&A at the end. You're asking about like LLCs and licenses. I actually have a full video on that actually. That was a part of Launchathon. So I don't know if you missed the beginning, but I actually shared a full 7-day marathon of videos related to launch. And the very first video was how to start a business. And I shared the licenses and things that you need in that video. So definitely check that out because tonight we're talking more about like the marketing strategy behind the launch and not so much like the licensing part of it. So it's still helpful to you for sure, but there's a video that breaks it down in detail. Okay, the Lounge Boutique. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so pretty much, oh, Regina said, yes, I launched my t-shirt brand and I want to relaunch in the spring. Help, please. Yes, Regina. So hopefully this live will be super helpful to you, okay? Because I'm going to share, just like I said, my process, what I went through with my shoe boutique, as well as the steps that I took in my shoe boutique so that I can see the success at that time. Now, at the time, $1,000 in a week was a lot to me. $1,000 for my launch goal was a lot to me, right? Because my initial goal was 500. So to see 1,000, that was crazy to me. And since then, I've had launches that have literally quadrupled 5 times, 10 times that, which is a blessing for sure. But it's honestly because I do the same steps over and over again. So the steps that I'm going to share tonight, the insight that I'm going to give you about my Shoe Boutiques experience, this is something that you can literally apply over and over again. Launching doesn't necessarily stop after you open the doors to your business. So even if you are in business and you're like, I don't want to relaunch, but I am launching a summer collection, a fall collection, a specialty collection coming up, this is definitely going to help you for sure. I have, for example, like some of my clients that have taken my launch course and had successful launches, they relaunch again because they release new products. They release the special edition of certain products. They end up running out and then they restock and they treat their restock as another launch, right? So all of the tools are going to come in handy, kind of like those dance moves that we talked about. They're going to come in handy. Macia said, I really need these steps. Yes, girl, I'm about to give you them right now. I promise. Okay. And so when I'm telling you guys these steps, I want you to write them down, but I also want you to make a commitment to actually put the action behind these steps. A lot of times we join the lives, we watch the YouTube videos, we do all the things, but then we don't actually take action. Either we let fear control us or we get really comfortable with where we're at, which is really a form of settling, and we don't do anything to change that. If I wouldn't have made that move while I was in corporate America to start my shoe boutique, I wouldn't have been where I was today. If I didn't then later make the move to quit that corporate job, I wouldn't have been where I am today either. If I didn't make several decisions along the way to launch, whether it was electronic products, whether it was a new program, whether it was a new type of product along the way, I wouldn't be where I am today either. I wouldn't be able to live the life I live. I wouldn't be able to afford the things that I'm able to afford. I wouldn't be able to be planning, for example, to invest in things like real estate and things like that this year. I wouldn't be able to do that because I would have let fear or my comfort level take over instead of actually applying the proven steps that I learned work from corporate America and from going to the University of Florida. And I perfected those steps. And so as I kept doing them, I just got better and better at them. Right. And so these steps I'm going to share are going to work, but you have to actually put in the work and you have to make the commitment, okay, to show up for yourself, to show up for your brand, and to show up for your business. So don't let fear hold you back. Don't watch a ton of YouTube videos and do absolutely nothing. Don't attend a webinar and learn so much from the webinar. And then when there is an offer presented to you so that you can actually work with that coach or strategist individually, one-on-one, or in some type of program, don't do that and then run away from it. You did all of this to get to that point, and then you decide to kind of go back into your turtle shell because guess what? Your brain again is telling you, oh, this sounds good and this looks good. And I know that all the things that she's saying works because I've tested some of the little like gems she's shared with me, and I'm listening to this webinar and all this makes sense. I have pages of notes, but I'm not going to take the next step and actually get the individualized, customized help that I need with my brand and with my business because I'm comfortable where I'm at right now. Don't be that person. There's some people that are on this live that were in the free training that I did the other day, which is the 90-day launch. There are a couple of people on this live that were in that training that were in the chat and they're like, I am definitely joining ULC. I'm definitely joining the Ultimate Launch course. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the support of the other ladies. I'm going to use your guidance and I'm going to actually launch this business the right way this time with your help, with your strategies, with your templates, with all the things. And then some of those people didn't sign up because then they got back into their turtle shell, right? And so if that's you and you're watching this live, you don't need to like say anything in the chat and call yourself out if you don't want to. But if that's you, I really want you to think about what is actually holding you back from that. Okay? Like what is holding you back? And why are you letting that continue to hold you back? Because hello, everything that you want is on the opposite side of fear. Regina said, I missed the 90 launch. Yeah, if you registered, you would have gotten the email with the replay. We sent that out immediately after, and we sent it out the day after, and the replay actually expires later tonight. But some of what I covered in the 90-day launch, I'm going to cover here. It's not going to be with the presentation and the full breakdown, but the steps that I use, because like I said, I use these steps over and over for all of my launches. The steps that I'm going to share pretty much derives from the 90-day launch. So if you missed that, this live is going to be super beneficial for you. You can take this and then you can make the decision. We're going to talk about the Ultimate Launch course as well. You can make the decision to join the Ultimate Launch course if you're ready to actually level up and work with me. And then you can go from there. Okay, Regina? But don't feel bad about missing the Ultimate Launch course because you're going to get everything that you need right here, right now. Okay. All right. So let's get into these steps, right? So when I launched, I was super nervous. Like I said, I had more jitters than fear because of like ill preparation. I was just like, I was prepared, I was confident, but I was still like, oh my goodness, this is my first like real business that I'm launching. This shoe boutique, I put so much into it, and I know that these strategies are going to work, but I'm just jittery about what's going to happen next. And so a couple of things that I did to help me go from jittery and nervous all the way to doubling my launch goal when I launched my shoe boutique was the first thing I did was I did what's called a profit check. So I profit checked my business idea, right? So a good thing about owning a business is knowing that you solve a problem or you provide a resource to a need. And when you are able to solve a problem or provide a resource to a need, you will always be able to provide value to someone. Providing value to someone is how you will make money. So the first thing I did was I honestly profit checked my business idea. From the moment I thought about a shoe boutique and I had an interest in shoes, I immediately did what I called a profit check. I went through a series of exercises where I listed out certain desires that my audience may want. I listed out what the values were that I could bring to the table, what that edge would be. And then I put it together to develop what would tell me if my idea was actually profitable or not. Sometimes in business, we don't do the necessary steps before we launch something, and then we beat ourselves up when it doesn't perform the way that it did, but it's because we didn't do the actual steps. And the first and most important step is always to profit check your business idea, that new product idea of yours. Always profit check it, okay? And so a lot of the students within the Ultimate Launch course, because we actually had a version of the Ultimate Launch course released last year in 2022, which was amazing. But the Ultimate Launch Course 2.0 literally like blows the first version out of the water. But a lot of my students that took the first version of the Ultimate Launch Course, when it came time for them to do the exercises and things like that to profit check their idea, they had a ton of aha moments. Their business transformed in front of their eyes. And this is what I mean, right? So I had someone, for example, come in, and when I asked what problem they solve or what resource they provide, or what need, they provide a resource to, they were just like, I sell cute dresses that you can wear when you're going out to events, but you can also wear it to brunches. And if you want to, you can wear it when you're chilling and do all the things, right? They went from telling me that when I asked them, which you see is a very like unclear statement. It's very all over the place. They went from that to I sell unique, high elevated dresses that you can wear to your special day, whether your special day is a birthday, an anniversary, an engagement party. You know that when you put on our high-end dresses and step in the room, that you are going to be the center of attention. They were literally able to transform it from I sell dresses for every and anything to I sell dresses for this type of person who's celebrating this type of event, and this is how they want to feel. Do y'all see the difference between those two? It's a difference. Because you telling me you sell dresses for any and everything, as the end consumer, I don't want to buy that because I have a particular need. I have a particular reason that I'm looking for something to wear. So when you are able to adjust it into something that makes sense to me and makes sense to my lifestyle and what I have going on and my issues and my desires, then I'm ready to give you my money. The Lounge Boutique said, yes, big difference. I'm glad somebody's catching these gems because somebody got to catch them, right? And so that was the first thing that I did. I profit checked my idea. The second thing that I did is I developed a unique brand. Pretty much when I say brand, I'm not just talking about the pretty things like what you see, the visuals, the logo, the website, the flyers, all the things. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, you should already know that brand is way more than that, right? Your brand is honestly what you want a person to think, feel. You just want them to have a certain experience, right? It's the overall experience when they come in contact with you. That is honestly what your brand is. The visuals and all of that, they come at the end. They come after you do the internal work. So for me, I was able to develop my unique brand and then communicate that through content or through visuals, because I didn't do it like backwards. I did it the right way the first time. So for me, what that looked like was I hashed out my target audience. I hashed out who has the desire or the need for what it is that I knew I was providing. I did a bunch of research on it, and I really got to know the lifestyle of my audience. And when I got to know the lifestyle of my audience, I then combined it with the value that I had already understood I was going to give from doing my profit check. And bada bing, bada boom, I was able to develop the unique edge for my brand. And that is how I then, quote unquote, branded myself through visuals, content, and things like that. Right. So it all honestly builds on top of each other. And the crazy thing about this is that I was doing this kind of naturally because I had already been doing it so long. So if we go back to that dance example that I said, where now when my cousin comes up to celebrate me hitting 100K on YouTube, a song comes on and we can do the same thing at the same time because of the years that we spent when we were younger practicing in her living room or just dancing to songs in her living room, right? It just came back. It was muscle memory. So for me, certain things that I was doing when I launched my shoe boutique the first time was muscle memory because of all the things that I had done for these big companies or all of the different research papers and experiments and things like that I had to do at the University of Florida, because the University of Florida is a huge research university. And so they literally throw you into case studies when you're taking classes. And now I'm thankful for that because certain things became muscle memory to me. And at the time, I didn't really think too much about it. But now when I look back on it, right, especially when I started this new business and I look back on what I did, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so smart. Yes. But I also took certain steps, right? And I made certain moves that were muscle memory to me, but I just wrote it out and made it into a strategy. And I just use it all the time. And I was able to say that I can go from, okay, making $1,000 when I launched my shoe boutique to now I can say making $11,000 in 11 days or making 25K or making 40K in a launch month, right? I can say that I do all those things because of the strategy that I literally follow all the time. Okay. And so someone says, let me see what y'all saying in here. But let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Like, drop it in the chat. Can y'all relate to the muscle memory thing? And also, did you profit check your business idea? And did you develop a unique edge for your brand? Talk to me. Okay. Lavonda said the fear comes in when you're maybe selling the same visuals others may have seen as well. So having to stand out and show how your product differ brings on fear. Selling the same visuals. Well, you don't really sell visuals, Lavonda. But I think I get what you're saying. Maybe you have the same, like you have similar visuals to another brand. But honestly, if you do the inner work first, that doesn't matter because the unique edge that you're bringing is going to be different than what another brand is bringing. Even if you go to let's say you go to Walmart or Target, because I don't really like Walmart like that. I rather Target. Let's say you go to Target, right? You go in an aisle, feminine hygiene, for example, there are going to be a bunch of different brands of feminine wash, feminine products. Heck, go in the makeup aisle. There are going to be a bunch of different brands of makeup. Yes, they all got foundation, they all got lipstick, they all got mascara, but what draws you to a certain brand is the unique edge that that brand has and what you already know about their story and what you know about how they uniquely solve the problem that you have. So, you as a business owner, if you know that as a consumer, when you show up to Target and you're able to make a decision and buy a certain brand religiously, you know you do that as a consumer. Now, as a business owner, you need to make sure that a consumer can do that with you. And you do that by going through all of the steps and all the processes to actually build your unique edge first before you actually do anything else. Okay, I hope that kind of answers your question. All right. So then, after I did that, after I developed my unique brand, I then created my social media hype plan. So this is like one of my favorite parts, right? Because this is when I get to put all of my, like, I guess like my excitement and all that, I get to put it into content. And I get to really get a chance to connect with my audience that I've spent so much time researching and getting to know. When I built out my social media hype plan for my boutique's launch, I used a system, I can say now, because I developed it into a content conversion system. I used a system to decipher what content I was going to post. And so I realized that I post a mixture of connection content, a mixture of hype content, a mixture of solution content. One of the cool things that I did when I was launching my shoe boutique is I actually had like little mini series where I would teach how to walk in super high heels, or I would do things where I paired it with different outfits so I can show you how to wear certain things. Doing that is actually a form of solution content. And so when I was prepping myself to launch, I did a healthy mix of solution, hype, and connection content. And I was able to create content that connected, excited my audience, and also converted my audience, right? Which was really, really cool. So take the time to actually make like a social media hype plan because it works. And after I did that, I then built excitement with email. So with email, I use that. It is such, like, I laugh because email is slept on, right? And so building excitement with email was so helpful for me for my shoe boutique. I believe my very first sale came from someone on my email list. Actually, I'm positive my very first sale did come from someone on my email list. And that's because I built excitement with email too. So I didn't just stop at social media. I did the work for emails. And the crazy thing about it is if your email marketing is powerful enough, you don't even have to show up on social media as much, like in the future, not your first launch, after your first launch, when you're launching the other collection or their new product. You don't even have to show up on social media as much because you got the email excitement in the bag. I had a launch before that did, I think it was 8,000 the first week, and I sold that strictly through email. I didn't tell anybody on social media at all. And I did that strictly through email and the people that I had on my email list. The people who had joined the wait list, which is a part of building email excitement, and then bada bing, bada boom. So for me, when I was launching my shoe boutique, and honestly, what I still do now when I'm building excitement with email is I intentionally build my list with people who I know are interested in what I have to offer. Okay, my target audience pretty much. I then create a email campaign for my pre-launch that will remind them about my launch date and educate them on my brand and my products and all the things. So that way when it's time and my doors actually open, they are ready to buy. They got their pocketbooks pulled out and everything. Okay? Marcia said, it completely makes sense. This is the first time here of a profit check. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. And so a cool thing that we do within the Ultimate Launch course is I share the different email list building strategies with my students. Not only that, but they get a template for that pre-launch email campaign that I just talked about, where I send out a timed email series that's automated, that educates people on my brand, that reminds them about my launch, that does all the things. They get a template that they literally fill in their information about their brand, which they know because we developed the unique brand before even doing this. They then fill out those templates and they're able to plug and play it into their email marketing platform. Not only that, but there's a lesson that talks about which email platforms that I recommend and why or why not. We then, in the 2.0 version, have added a class, or I should say a lesson, on how to then set up automations. Because one of the things was that in the first version of ULC, we were talking about automations. We were giving plug and play templates, which were super helpful. But then some students, they didn't really know how to set up automations. And so I would spend time on the live sessions that we had, because by the way, those are included in the course if you do pay in full. But I would spend time on the live sessions that we had showing them how to set up automations on the back end and do all the things. And I would find myself having to do that multiple times. And so I was just like, let me just make a lesson on it for the 2.0 version and put it into the Ultimate Launch course. So that way people can watch it on their own time. They can slow it down as they need to, speed it up as they need to, and really follow along and build those automations. And that way, when I have the live audit sessions and I have the live Q&A sessions, we can have time to review more of the email content versus looking at, how to set up the automation. Right? Launch Boutique said, after this live, I'm going to join the launch course. I feel like it will be beneficial to my business. I'm just starting out and trying to learn everything before launching. And Lessa said, okay, great. Yes, listen, and you said, will your course help me? I'm a seller on Amazon. I want to move my products from Amazon to a website so I can build a brand. Absolutely. It's funny because at the training that I did, what was it, 2 days ago, I had someone who wanted to do similar, but they wanted to do from Etsy to Shopify, or they wanted to do both, keep it on Etsy and do Shopify at the same time, because they wanted to build their own brand separate from Etsy. And so you can absolutely do that. My husband right now has his own brand that stands alone, and he sells on Cratejoy and Etsy. So it's completely possible to do all the things. Okay. Trust me. And so, yes, it will be beneficial to you, Lessa. And for the Lounge Boutique, yes, I actually pinned the launch course link in my chat. So if at any time, during this live, you want to check it out, because we're going to have I'm going to talk more about it later. And I want you to be able to ask me all the questions that you have. That way I can answer them for you while I'm here, face to screen, I should say. Right? So I built up excitement with email. Super helpful. My first sale came from email. And the next thing I did was then I amped up my launch hype with paid tactics. Now, this is something that you don't have to do, because I don't do it all the time now. But for my shoe boutique, I did do that. So for my shoe boutique, I used some advertising. And then after I launched, I used like influencers. At the time, it was so early in the game that it wasn't that much for an influencer. Now influencing has kind of changed, but still, I do teach that in ULC as well. We talk about influencers, how to secure them. I give you contracts, pitch templates, all the things. And we even talk about how you can possibly build a brand ambassador program. So that way you don't really have to pay for an influencer to post. Instead, you can give them commission off of a sale that they make as a brand ambassador. So we talk about that in the course as well. Okay. But the next thing that I did when it came to marketing my shoe boutique is I amped up my launch by running some ads and utilizing influencers after I did the pre-launch part. So pretty much I positioned my brand first. Notice that I didn't run ads first. I did all of the inner work first. I did the profit check. I did the target audience. I did the researching for the target audience. I did the building of a unique brand. I did my social media content plan. I did my email foundation. I did all of that first. and then I put money into the into what I knew was already working. Then I was able to say, okay, I'm going to pay this amount for an ad or this amount for paid promo. And now I know when the traffic comes to whatever platform, and when it comes to my Instagram, or when it comes to my website's lock page, my website's landing page, I know that I already have email set up. So once they join my email list, they're going to get a series of emails that I've set up. I know that if I run ads, because I believe in the content that I've posted, I know that, okay, if a certain person posts about my product or about my brand and directs traffic my way, I know that I am going to like be able to connect with them and convert them with my content. So that's why ads came after all that, right? And so I would run cute little ads with like trendy songs, or is this trendy songs like a term? I guess like the most popular songs of the time. And I would edit the videos and make it really cute and really cool. Um, and they would be like me walking in heels, doing all the things. I would like add effects, and it was just so cute. I found a couple of them, and I actually had shared one the other day, and I'm amazed that I was able to do that back then. Okay, because since then I've learned so much more, but I was like, this is fire. But that is the next thing that I did, right? So far, y'all keeping up. The first thing I did was profit check my idea. I then developed a unique brand. I built my social media hype plan. I built excitement with email, and then I amped up my launch hype. Okay, so remember that when it comes to running ads, when it comes to using influencers, when it comes to paid promotion, that is not a magical key for your business. If you treat ads like this magical key that once you turn that ad on, you're just going to have all this success, you are setting yourself up for failure. If you think that, okay, you're going to pay this influencer and then you only got to pay them one time and you will continuously get sales in your business when you haven't done any of the back end work to actually continue to nurture those people and get them to buy over and over again, like, it's not going to work. You're going to literally, yes, you may get some sales from the influencer posting that one time, but you're not going to maximize your potential of making sales the first time or making sales over and over again as recurring sales. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you have certain things in place. And then you also want to make sure that you even have an angle or a strategy that you're taking when it comes to running an ad, or when it comes to using an influencer, or when it comes to paid promotion. And that was like, ads is like a question that I get all of the time. So I couldn't not put that into ULC. So in ULC, which is the Ultimate Launch course, I actually talk about the types of ads that you can run. And in 2.0 version, I show you how to set up your Facebook ads manager, which controls the ads you run on Instagram as well. And I show you how to set up your Google ads dashboard, which controls the ads that you see on YouTube as well. And so in the 2.0 version, you get a dose of that too. So if you sign up, you get to get all that tea, okay? But anyway, so after I amped up my launch hype, I did something else, right? And this was related to email again. So the first thing that I did with email was build my email list and create that pre-launch campaign. But then the next thing I did was I created other automated email campaigns. How many of us, especially my entrepreneurs who have already launched or maybe launched the first time and it was a fail, how many of you had set up email automations beforehand? Let me know yes or no in the chat box. Let me know how many of you have actually set up automated email campaigns. My people who are in business. I'm thirsty. I'm so thirsty. Have you set up email campaigns? Yes or no? Automated email campaigns? Yes or no? Let me know. Let me know. Regina said, no, I didn't. Thanks for answering, Regina. I guess everybody's so busy writing. Lessa said no. Stephanie Morris said yes. Stephanie, which ones did you set up? Which email automations did you set up? Linda said no. Share your knowledge with the world, Stephanie. What email campaign automations did you set up? Okay, so I see that the consensus is no for the most part. And I know I have some people on the live who aren't like they haven't launched yet at all. So they're like, girl, what is an automated email campaign? If you haven't launched yet and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, you can tell me that too in the chat. Chronicles of Des says, yes, I'm busy writing, but no, I didn't set one up. Okay, cool beans. I'm waiting for Stephanie to share her knowledge with the world and tell us what automated campaign she set up. Okay, she just wrote back. She said, welcome to newsletter. Oh, so you set up the one, you talking about the one email when you go and someone joins your email that it then triggers? Okay, wait. So Stephanie said she set up 3 series. Which one? You just said welcome to the newsletter. So was it 1 or was it 3? Let us know. Masia said, I'm baby new to this, so I haven't done anything. I'm just soaking up this info. When are you launching, Masia? Charlene said no. When are you launching? Do you have a launch date? Do you already have like your products in hand or have the vendor and stuff, Masia? Let me know. The Lounge Boutique said, yes, I'm trying to learn what automated email is. All right. So while Stephanie's deciding how much she's going to share with us, let me tell y'all what I did. Okay. So I automated my email marketing by creating automatic email campaigns. And the 3 email campaigns that I made sure that I set up was a welcome campaign, yes, but I also set up a thank you campaign and I set up an abandoned cart campaign. And when I say campaigns, I'm not talking about one email. Sometimes people get the automated email thing confused where they're like, oh, well, I set up an automation. So when someone joins my list, it tells them, welcome to the newsletter. And like, here's your discount. And that's it. That's not a campaign, y'all. That's not a full out series. Or some people will say, oh, well, I have Shopify already sends out an abandoned cart message for me when people don't check out. So it sends them something. Okay, that's cool. But where is the touch of your brand on that? Another thing too is the thank you email series. A lot of people miss this. This honestly was one of the series that a lot of the students in ULC last time did not realize how much impact a thank you email series could be. So pretty much your welcome email series is a series that welcomes your new email subscriber to the list. It gives them whatever the promise is that you promised them to get them on the list in the first place. And then it nurtures them by educating them on your brand, your products, all the things. And it's multiple emails over the course of time that then warms them up to actually want to check out your products and buy from you. Your thank you email series comes post-purchase. Don't neglect the people that have purchased with you. Instead, use that to your advantage, I should say, to then keep in contact with those people and nurture them. So follow up. Let them know, hey, thank you for ordering. Doop 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 doop. Your order's on the way. Doop 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 doop. And then follow up again and ask them, how was the order? Follow up again and check in and see how your product's treating them. Follow up again and invite them back to shop with you. Do that so that way they feel like the VIP. The cool thing about it, and this is proven, and you can look it up if you don't believe me, but your return customers actually spend more money with you. Like a return customer is way more valuable than a one-time customer or a customer that you're trying to chase. So a lot of times we are trying to chase all of these new people and we're not even nurturing the people that we have yet, right? So for example, right, in my membership club, which is the eHustle Club, when I released the Ultimate Launch Course 2.0, before I released it, they knew about it. On our live that we had yesterday, I told them, if you're interested, let me know, and I'm going to look out for y'all, right? That is a way of me nurturing people who I already have. Instead of just saying, yeah, y'all in the eHustle Club, and I already got y'all to join my membership club, woo, woo, woo. I still am able to have conversations with them to see what they need. I am still able to then put them up on game when I'm launching something new so that they know ahead of time. There are a lot of things, actually, yes, there is a lot of things that my eHustle Club knows before anybody else knows because they are a part of my membership community. There are a lot of things too that the people who will buy something from me will know before the general public knows. It is a form of me appreciating the people who have shopped with me in the past and valuing them as a VIP. And a lot of like small business owners miss that mark, and you miss an opportunity to increase your sales. And so that's why it's important for you to build this out at the beginning, right? Build this out when you're launching for the first time, or if you're relaunching, it's more important for you to build this out because your first launch was a fail. So we got to get the stuff together. Okay. And if you're in business, but you're like, I just really don't know how to have successful launches and I just want to learn. And so this course will help me. This is going to hit on a lot of your pain points as well. And then the last series that you want to create, that I created, is I created an abandoned cart email series. And so I see that the Lounge Boutique asks, will those emails be created on Shopify? No, they won't. However, Shopify does send out abandoned cart emails for you, but there's a way that you can customize the abandoned cart emails on Shopify. A lot of people don't know that. But I know that because I know Shopify like the back of my hand, just like I know Canva like the back of my hand. You can customize those abandoned cart emails on Shopify by editing some of the code in those emails. And then you can like add your own brand's messaging in it. You know, if you call your community Hustle Babes, for example, you can add that in the email. You can do a lot of different tweaks. And then, but how I really teach my students in ULC to set up automated campaigns is by using their email marketing platform, because all of the other ones that we're going to set up are going to be on the email marketing platform. So I say you might as well just set all of them up that way and then just sync Shopify to the email platform. The email platform that I highly recommend is Klaviyo for product-based businesses. It is amazing and it is so analytical. There's so much data that they give you that will help you run your business more efficiently, that a lot of other marketing, email marketing tools don't give you. And Klaviyo and Shopify, they work together like peanut butter and jelly, to be completely honest. So I actually teach my students and show my students how to set up automations on Klaviyo because I highly recommend Klaviyo. But yeah, so I hope that answered your question, the Lounge Boutique. And I hope that explains the 3 email campaigns, like foundational email campaigns that you want to have automated. And the reason you want to automate it is because you're in business for the long haul, right? You're in business for the long haul, right? I would hope. And so you want to be able to like make money when you're on vacation, or make money when you're sleeping, or get someone interested in the product while you're sleeping or on vacation. And having automated email campaigns will help you to do that for sure. So Stephanie, did you have all those 3? And did you have multiple emails within all of them? Even in your abandoned cart, sending one email is not enough. You want to have multiple emails within your abandoned cart email series, like multiple. Like, think about how much Fashion Nova annoys you when you leave something in their cart, or when you look at something and you don't even add it to your cart. Think about that. Lavonda said no first time. Yes, second time I had a shipping confirmation. Yes, an abandoned cart. Jill said, thank you for the Shopify video. It helped me out a lot. You're welcome, Jill. My mom said, just like Amazon does. Yes. Masia said, I have vendors, some products, business license, LLC, EIN, and everything. Just need to set up a website outline and learn the back end. I want to be able to launch summertime, June or July. Masia, you are perfect. So you are perfect like for this program. And the reason why is because we have this thing called the Hustler Starter Pack. In the Hustler Starter Pack, there is some information about legalities and stuff like that, like how to get your EIN, vendors, and all that. But you already did that. What I'm telling you about this for is because we include Shopify videos in there. So setting up your Shopify backend and you know, setting up your website and how to build out your website, that's included in the Hustler Starter Pack. So in addition to the very popular 2 videos that I have on my channel, which is how to design a Shopify store and how to create stuff on the back end, the Hustler Starter Pack goes a step further and teaches you how to set up the back end, your taxes, your shipping, all the things. And so the Hustler Starter Pack is a bonus that we have if you join by tonight, because enrollment for the course actually ends on Sunday. But I'm going to get into that because someone asked me to go into details about the course, but I want to get through these steps first. If you join by tonight, you would honestly be able to get the Hustler Starter Pack, which is really cool. And the cool thing about being in the Ultimate Launch course too is we have a group chat feature now. And so this is something that we didn't have before, but we added the 2.0 version. And so in the group chat feature, as you're building out your website, Masia, you can literally hop in the group chat and ask, do y'all like this banner? What do you think? What do I have a question about what theme to pick or how to do this or how to do that. And me or the other students within the Ultimate Launch course 2.0 will be able to respond to you. And this is a group chat that's not on Facebook. This is also a group chat that you can download as an app on your phone, and your notifications come to your phone and everything. So Masia, the Ultimate Launch course, you definitely want to check it out because it's going to be great for you. MJ's Eagle Eye Nail Design said on February 24th, it'll be 1 year spent building my Shopify for my press-ons. I'm a hot mess. Just want to create nail art. I'm not a computer whiz at all. Lord send help. Regretting not staying in business management in college. Thank you for what you're doing and giving to us. Appreciate you. Hopefully I'll have nails for you someday. The Lounge Boutique, it's Clavio with a K. So it's Clavio, I'll type it, with a K. Okay, that is what it is. And I have an actual link for it that will give you like a free trial or something like that, but I have to find it. So if you want it, remind me towards the end and I'll have that for you, okay? All right, so a chick from Harlem said I have set up automated flows. Which ones did you set up from what I said? Where's my water? Which ones have you set up from what I said? But anyway, y'all, welcome, abandoned cart, etc. Good for you. And how are those working for you? Are they doing good? Are they doing great? I hope so. Hey, Penny. Hey, Penny. Oh, it's cute. That's a cute little pink hand. But yes, so pretty much I automated my email marketing. And another thing that I did was I then set goals and I strategized with those goals. So the next thing that I did is I set goals and I strategized, y'all. This is so important to me because if I don't set goals, I honestly go through the month or the quarter and I'm lost. I am like blind, honestly. Like I don't know where I'm headed. I don't know what I should be doing, where I should be putting effort. I have to set goals and I have to kind of gamify my goals as well so that I can know whether or not my strategies are working. So it could be something as like for me to gamify my goals, I could do something like drawing like a bar chart on a dry erase board and shading it in. Or maybe I put like the sticky names on the wall or something like that so that I can count how many people are buying or enrolling in something. Like something like that, I gamify it so that way I can see it and I can always know how close I am to my goal. But the purpose of setting goals and strategizing, honestly, is to give yourself that guiding light. One of the biggest mistakes we make when we're launching a business or launching a new product is we don't set the right goals. We think about, oh, I want to make this much in sales, but we don't think about anything else. There are so many legs that are attached to that sales number that it's not fair for you to ignore them. For you to get the end sale, you need to be able to get a certain amount of traffic to your website. For you to get a certain amount of traffic to your website, you need to have a certain amount of engagement, a certain amount of conversion from whatever your external marketing platforms are, whether that's social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, or whether that is a SEO type of platform like Pinterest or YouTube. You need to be able to like know where your traffic is coming from and then know what your goal amount of traffic is. Other things that you need to know are how it travels down your funnel on your website, and know all of those important numbers down your funnel on your website. That way you can know how much you actually have, how many people you need to push through for them to do the end result, which is purchase with you. Sales has so many different legs attached to it. And that is one of the things that I want you to realize, I want you to acknowledge. It's great to set sales goals, yes, but you also have to pay attention to what contributes to those sales goals. Not only that, but you need to make sure that you're setting goals that make sense. So for me, when I was setting goals for my shoe boutique, I set very intentional goals using my SMART formula. I set those goals, but on top of that, I looked at things such as the pricing of my products, how much inventory I had, how much inventory I could afford, how my budget looked and where my money was going as far as my marketing plan and all the things. And then I was able to come up with the actual goal of making $500 during my first month when I launched. Now, if you joined after I shared how much I actually made when I launched my shoe boutique, I ended up making $1,000 my first week compared to the $500 I set to make for my first month. I made $1,000 within my first week. So I literally ate my goal alive, pretty much. And then I use these steps over and over to launch different things, but I also use these steps in my new business now, and I continue to use them. And that's how I was able to see launches that have made me 10 times as much, like, 11K, 40K, 25K, you name it, 8K, all the things, because I continue to use this. These are also the steps that I teach my students to use, and they're able to see 50 orders in 2 weeks. Like they sometimes blow my initial launch goals out of the water. Like 50 orders in 2 weeks is incredible. Some people don't even see 50 orders in a year. I once had a client who we worked on going back to the drawing board, rebranding and relaunching her and all the things. And she ended up getting 100 orders within her first, I think it was like month and a half. And she told me, Chanel, the whole time I had my business open for like 2 to 3 years, and I didn't even hit order 100. But when we rebranded and relaunched and actually used your strategy, we hit 100 orders within less than 2 months. That's crazy, right? But it's because we set intentional goals and we strategize. Okay? A chick from Harlem said, I'm starting over in a new business. When you know better, you do better. That's true. That's so true. MJ's Eagle Eye Design. I truly needed one-on-one, tight budget though. I'll rewatch your videos. I take notes this time. So MJ's Eagle Eye. So I actually have a launch course that I launched this week. I would suggest checking it out. It's pinned at the top of the chat. We have payment plan options, and that honestly is super affordable for the amount of value that you get within the course. The amount of value that you get within the course would be equivalent to doing 35 one-on-ones with me. But if you join the course, you get all of that. You get the ability to watch these lessons over and over as many times as you can, rewind, slow it down, speed it up. You also get plug and play templates. You get the group dynamic with the group chat. And if you decide to do the paid in full option, you get to meet with me once a month for Q&A sessions and audit sessions and things like that. So it's honestly better than working with me one-on-one, because if you saved up for a one-on-one and you wanted to talk about building out a launch marketing strategy, there's only so much that we could cover in an hour's time. There's only so many resources I can give you in an hour's time versus to this course that I've put so much into, and that this is the 2.0 version of the course. And so we have added more, and we've we're working on, I don't want to say perfecting the course because there's nothing that's perfect, but we've elevated this course like beyond belief, right? And so you will get way more bang for your buck by enrolling in this course. And then you'll be able to network with the other ladies that have a similar mindset as you and are on the same or similar level as you. So I honestly think that ULC is better than doing a one-on-one with me for this particular reason. Okay. But anyway, y'all, so I set goals and I strategized. I'm almost done. I wrote down all things that I did because I didn't want to leave anything off the table for y'all. I like to drop gems and be as helpful as I can. However, we all know that I can't share every single thing in a certain amount of time, which is why I said when I put together a course, you want to run and grab it, because I have been working on this course so much. And I honestly even thought about some new things that we want to add to the course too. I have them written down on this dry erase board right here next to me. And just in case y'all think I'm lying, because I don't lie, y'all. I have them written down on this dry erase board next to me of some other like videos, whether it's pep talks or whatever I want to add to the Ultimate Launch course that I'm going to be recording next week. I've put on my calendar all next week is just record dates. I'm recording a lot of different things that I'm adding to the course in addition to recording YouTube videos and things like that. But like as I was just thinking about it, especially when I had the 90-day launch training the other day, and I was hearing about some of the fears that people were experiencing that maybe I hadn't thought of before, I had this bomb idea to like infuse the course with motivational videos as well. So that way, maybe you launch the first time and you failed at your first launch. I am actually making a video about what to do when you quote unquote failed your first launch or your second launch or whatever the case may be, and how to really pick up the pieces and continue to go. Because entrepreneurship it's not hard, but it's a journey, y'all. Entrepreneurship can play with your feelings, okay? It can play with your feelings, trust me. And so having those motivational videos, I think will be super helpful. The times when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling down, just when you're feeling like giving up, those motivational videos are going to be so good for you to really just pick it up. And these are things that I wish I had when I was starting out my business. Thankfully, God blessed me with the opportunity to go to an amazing school. God blessed me with the ability to, work in the corporate marketing world and work in all of these different industries and business with these different businesses and things like that. So I was able to learn a wealth of knowledge and information. But one of the things that I lacked when I launched my business was the support from a community of like-minded women who were on the same path as me. One of the things that I lacked was the guidance from an expert who knew what they were doing. They've been there, they've done that. They made the mistakes so that way I don't have to make them. I can just learn from them and prevent those mistakes. And of course, there are going to be hiccups that I have to experience on my own. But those major costly hiccups that are going to make me lose money or waste a lot of my time, I wish I had that when I first launched, because it would have impacted me so greatly. And that's why right now I am so adamant about literally investing in so much. If I find a coach that I resonate with, if I know that, okay, when I consume their Instagram content or I consume their, I don't know, YouTube content, I don't really have any coaches I watch on YouTube like that, but mostly it's like Instagram and other forms. But if I interact with a coach and I feel like I understand them really well, they provide me with clarity, I love their personality, and I know that they can help me, I don't think twice about investing in that particular program, that particular coach, because I know that it can help me. And I have invested a ton of money. We're talking tens of thousands when it comes to investing in programs and coaches. And I actually shared one of my coaches yesterday on my Instagram story. So if you follow me, one of my coaches, I shared a story when she gave me an award of being a woman of impact. And she also rewarded me for having a 5-figure launch. And I shared the picture and my big, 5 foot, or maybe no, it was actually taller than me. So like 6 foot banner thing that had my face on it. It said Woman of Impact 5-figure launch. I shared that on my story yesterday. So that's proof right there that I invest. Like, I'm not just telling you guys to invest in something just because I want to make a buck from it. Because to be completely honest, y'all, like, yes, I have to charge for certain courses because it just makes sense. It makes sense for me. It makes sense for my team. I wouldn't be able to pay my team. I wouldn't be able to run certain operations in my business. And I honestly wouldn't have a level of seriousness from students if there wasn't a price tag attached to it. But honestly, for the Ultimate Launch course, at the price tag that it's at, it is a value. There are comparable courses that have less than what I have that are charging more. Just to be completely honest with you. So I say all that because I kind of went on a little roll and I've been doing that. I've just been going wherever God leads me. But I say all that because if you are a person who you're hesitant to invest in because it sounds like a lot, think about what can come from the investment. When I invested $10,000 into somebody to help me learn how to build a team and learn how to hash out operations on the back end, I ended up making, what was the month? The month right after, I want to say I ended up, that's the first month I saw 30,000 or something like that, 30 or 35,000. So that $10,000 that I paid her, I got back times 3 in the next month. Right? You see what I'm saying? My mom says you're charging for your time. That's true too, because especially if you like, you're gonna be in the group with me, and if you do the paid in full, which we actually have a ton of people signed up for paid in full with the ultimate launch course, which was shocking me because that shows me that y'all want to meet with me every month, which is great. But if you sign up for the paid in full version, we get to meet every single month for your questions. I get to look at all the things that you're creating, whether that's your content, whether that's your profit check, whether that's your target audience research, and I get to review that and like literally audit it. Like I ask for access to my students' documents and I'll type on it myself. The Lounge Boutique says, you're an inspiration. Thank you for all this information. You're welcome. Emily says, does this course help with business names too? It definitely will. When you hit module 1 and module 2, you'll be able to hash out your business name. I say that because module 1 is profit checking your business idea. And we go through a series of exercises where you're able to identify the unique value that you're going to bring to your audience. And then in module 2, when we talk about developing your unique brand, you're able to then like realize who your audience is, what lifestyle they have, and what needs they have, and all the things. And you're able to then design visuals. So in module 2, I actually talk about visuals. I talk about your purpose, your mission, your values, your vision statement, all the things that honestly your name then comes from that. I hope that makes sense. So like, even if you look at like my current name, the Brand Hustler, I didn't come up with a name randomly first. I actually did all the steps I did in module 1 and then module 2 first. And then that's how I was able to come up with a name like the Brand Hustler. And to this day, like when I meet new people, like through networking events and stuff, they're like, girl, how did you come up with that name? That is such a good name. All I could think about was using my name. Like, like they'll use their actual name for their business, which is cool. I mean, I could do that now if I wanted to, but I just feel like the Brand Hustler just hits so much better. But yes. So anyway, I got 3 more things that I did, and then I want to tell y'all all about the course and answer all your questions. I want to like break down the lessons and things like that for you, but I also want to value everybody's time. So let's get into it. All right. So the next thing I did after I set my goals and I strategized, I then crushed my launch goals. So I crushed my launch goals because the very strategies that I outlined, I used my method called the GST method to create strategies. And then I used my my consistent GST method. So it's a method that adds on to GST to then create campaigns that executed the strategies that I had set already. And that enabled me to crush my launch goals. And that enabled me to crush goals that I set afterwards too. So one of the things that I did after I launched my shoe boutique was I actually had a Black Friday sale. And when I say Black Friday, a lot of people think November, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that weekend. But I actually had a Black Friday sale that I put at the last weekend of February because February is Black History Month. I mean, I'm Black, as you can see. And I felt like having a Black Friday sale at the end of that month was me kind of paying tribute or homage to Black History Month, because a lot of the people within my audience, a lot of the women, because I sold heels, they either could understand the culture or they were a part of the culture. And so I created a Black Friday sale and I set goals for that. And I implemented my GST method with that. And then I implemented my consistent GST method to execute those strategies and to create a campaign for it. And I ended up having over 40 orders within the span of 2 days. Once again, that's insane because some people don't see 40 orders within a span of a year. So to get it within a span of 2 days was incredible, especially for a new business. One of the things that people kept saying to me when I would go to events, because that was also a part of my strategy, I would go to a lot of events, not a part of my launch strategy, but more of like just my brand awareness strategy, which I'm not gonna get into that. But when I would go to events, people will always be like, girl, how did you do this? Or how did you get this amount of followers? How did you get all this branded stuff down packed? How does all your stuff look the same? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, I had got all these questions. And honestly, that was one of the things that probed me to actually want to start the Brand Hustler, is that I realized how much information people didn't have that I thought everybody knew, but they really didn't. And so people were able to look at my brand and automatically like give me compliments and say certain things because I just knew how to crush my goals using my GST method and consistently crushing those goals. Anyway, now the next thing that I did, y'all, so the second to last thing that I did was I audited and I analyzed my launch. What I mean when I say audit and analyze your launch is I took the time to look at my numbers. People ignore numbers, and I don't know why, because numbers tell a story. Numbers never lie. They will tell you exactly what it is that you are looking for. We look at numbers when we're looking at the follower count or the like count, and we stop at that. But it's important for you to dive deeper into your analytics, especially when you're launching a new collection, a new product, a new business. Heck, even if you're not doing any of that and you are just running a business, it is important for you to look at your numbers on a consistent basis. So I believe in auditing and analyzing your launch because you get to really reflect and debrief the results from your launch. That way you can repeat your success, alter what didn't work, cut off what really didn't work, and keep it pushing. Like I said before at the very beginning of this live, is your launch is just the start to your entrepreneurship journey. Along your entrepreneurship journey, you're going to have many launches, and you're also going to just have many times where the things that you implemented during your launch, they're going to repeat themselves. I keep going back to this dance example that I shared at the beginning where, I used to be throwing it back with my cousins in the living room, and I would then be able to perform when we went to a party, and years down the line, we could do those same moves. And it's been a long time. I don't want to tell my age, but it's been a long time since then. I'm able to do that because guess what? I already, when I did really well at that party and we did the splits and we did all the things, guess what we did in the car, y'all? We talked about it. We hopped in the car and we were bouncing like this, like, girl, you did that. When he said this certain word, you dropped the split on the right time. You had all the boys going crazy. All the girls were looking like this, da 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 da. We're talking about it like we're like, oh, yeah. And when you came in and you did that move, girl, that was it. We got to make sure that we do that one again. That's what we did in the car, right? And so if you can relate to that, I know that earlier we had somebody in the live that could relate to dancing and practicing and then really showing out at parties and stuff. If you can relate to that, you know what I'm talking about. At the end of a party, you're recapping what happened. And especially if you are a dancer girl like me, you're recapping on how well you danced or how well you did a certain routine. And you picked up on either certain things that you did, certain moves that you did, and you talk about why you're going to do them again at the next party. Or you say, I was a little rusty when I had to go for that leg extension. So next time I'm going to make sure that I stretch and I make sure that, I got everything down pat before the next party. That is a form of auditing and analyzing. I know I'm using a dance example, but I feel like it makes sense. At least it makes sense in my head. And that's what you want to do with your launch. And that's what I did with my launch. That's what I do with all of my launches. I pay attention to what works and I do it again. I pay attention to what needs a little bit more work and I improve. And then I pay attention to what really didn't work and I figure out what can I learn to help this thing work, or is this something that I just don't really need to focus on right now because I'm going to amp up what's already working. So that's what I did, y'all. And then the last and final thing that I did was I believed that I could do it. I believed that I could do it. I believed that I deserved success. And it was a mindset thing for me. If you continuously tell yourself that you can't do something, or you continue to hesitate with everything that you're going to do, every decision that you're going to make, you're never going to be able to achieve the ultimate goal that you have in mind. And honestly, sometimes the goal that we have in mind is nothing compared to the goal that God has in mind for us. So if you continue to play small and you continue to second guess everything that you're going to do, when it comes time for you to actually get that big grand thing, that big grand experience, that big grand life that you've dreamed of, you're never going to be able to get to it because your mindset keeps playing games with you. So that's why the last and final thing I did was believe that I deserved it. I knew I deserved it. I believed that I could attain success. And that did a world of things for me, right? I launched my shoe boutique. I was still working in corporate America. Guess what? I'm not anymore, right? When I launched my shoe boutique, I was still getting my car repoed, right? My car is now paid off. I was able to pay, it was 16,000 and something dollars in 2021. I was able to pay it off in 1 month because I set the goal that I wanted to pay that debt off. And I told my now husband, I said, I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna split it up month to month, however it's gonna be. And then I realized that it was November, and I was like, wait, I haven't really been paying above my car minimum. So I said, wait, let me just see what the balance is. So I called them up. We figured out what the payoff amount was, did a lot of back and forth, did all the things, had a little bit of arguments because my dad is also co-signed on the car. So he argued because he felt like the payoff amount should have been less through all whatever. They tried us with interest, all the things, whatever. Figured out what the actual payoff amount was. And I said, all right, bet. I literally split that up into 3. And week 1, paid a third of it. Week 2, paid a third of it. Week 3, paid the final third of it. That's $16,000 that back then, when I was where I was at before I launched my shoe boutique, I wouldn't have been able to do. Back then, I was getting that very same car repoed. So it's incredible what your mindset can actually do for you when you let go, let God, and honestly just go after it. So those are the steps that I did, y'all. I hope that that was helpful. It was like a total of 10 steps, I think. So just to recap, I profit checked my business idea, developed a unique brand, built a social media hype plan. I did some email list building, amped up my launch hype by running ads. I did some email automation. What else did I do? I set my goals and strategized. I then crushed my launch goals. I audited and analyzed my launch, and then I worked on my mindset. So someone said that they can't click the link up top. I'll put the link again down here for you. Let me see, who said that? Somebody said, praise the Lord, won't he do it? Yes, he will. Uh-oh, my thing froze a little bit. Okay, now it's catching up, kind of. Hold on, my thing froze, y'all. Okay, so I say, somebody said, awesome, yes, praise the Lord, won't he do it? Glory God. What does the course run, and why can't I hit the link you pinned? I have no idea. Can everybody hit the link that I pinned? Your ultimate launch. I'll put it again in the chat. Okay. Oh, you clicked it? Okay, cool. I'm putting it again in the chat. So I know that earlier someone asked about the ultimate launch course and what it includes and all that. I'm going to go over that really quickly, maybe for like the next 5 minutes. And then I'm going to answer some of the questions that you have either about the course, about your launch marketing strategy, about, whatever it is. I'll answer that afterwards. But let's get into this course, y'all, because it's so good. Regina said, yes. Yes, Regina. So, Regina. Sorry, I got excited. I'm practicing slowing down because I got excited when I saw your name. Was this helpful to you? I know that you said you missed the 90-day launch. Did you feel like you got a lot of good information here? I hope you did. Let me know. But yeah, let's talk about the ultimate launch course. I wish I could share my screen, but I can't. So what I'm going to do is I got the curriculum pulled up here so that I don't miss anything. At least I hope I don't miss anything. I want to talk to you about what the course is. The Ultimate Launch course is a course that I created. I designed it. And it's a step-by-step program that teaches aspiring entrepreneurs or those with failed launches to execute a revenue-generating launch strategy in 90 days or less. To me, when I looked at the courses that were out there or the offers that were out there, there were a lot of programs that taught you like how to build a business as far as, okay, you need to get an LLC, you need to find vendors, you need to do this, you need to do that. But they kind of stopped at how to market your launch. And I felt as if marketing your launch went so deep because you had to build a brand. You had to hash out the target audience. You had to make sure that your idea was profitable. You had to do all the things. And then you then had to market the dang product that you had spent all this time getting, right? And so I created the Ultimate Launch course to do that. I provided what was missing in the industry when I looked at it. And so the Ultimate Launch course is the only course that's intentionally designed to help product-based business owners market their launch. Like I said, it isn't your typical like how to start a business course. I need to get this LLC, this, that, the third. However, we do have the Hustler Starter Pack. If you sign up by tonight, you'll get the Hustler Starter Pack that gives you all of that. Okay, get your LLC, get your EIN, get all the things. And we don't need to drag it out into a full program. Like the legal part of it, literally those legal classes are so quick and easy. You'll be able to get your EIN in a matter of 5 minutes. Like you'll be able to get your reseller's permit in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. Like that is nothing compared to the work that actually goes into building a brand and then marketing your actual launch, right? And so the course focuses a lot on that because these are skills, these are mindset traits, these are lessons that you are going to like learn and gain that you're going to continue to use in your business. Building an email list is something that you're going to need to do throughout your business. Knowing how to automate things within your business are something that you're going to need to know throughout your business. Knowing how to communicate to your target audience is something that you're going to need to know throughout your entire business. Knowing how to create social media content, literally everything. It helps with launch, but it honestly sets you up for success for your first year of business. And that was the goal of ULC. So in ULC, everything is split up into like 4 main parts, right? We have 10 total modules and a ton of lessons within those modules. But the easiest way to describe how it's set up is it's split up into 4 segments. You have your pre-work segment, which is the important preparation stage. So during the pre-work stage, you really build your CEO mindset. We kind of get you focused on what you're doing, why you're here, believing that you have something to give to the world. We talk all about that. And then we strengthen your business idea. We do the profit checking of your business idea. We also develop your brand's unique edge and identify your audience. We do all the research, all the things that's in the pre-work stage. In the pre-launch stage, we then really gear you up for launch, right? So during the pre-launch stage, you'll focus on building excitement and creating hype through multiple channels, social media, email marketing, paid tactics, all the works. You learn the how-tos, you get the templates on how to, we build it out, all those things during the pre-launch stage. Then you have your live launch stage. So this is where we talk about what to do when your doors are open for launch. This is where you'll set up those automated email campaigns I talked about. This is where you'll set strategic goals using the GST method. This is where you'll learn how to execute those goals consistently. And this is where you'll actually learn, okay, what does achieving these goals look like? Regina said, I'm signing up for ULC. Yay, Regina, I can't wait to see you inside of the course. We got so many great people joining the course for the ULC 2.0. But then finally, you have the post-launch section. This is where we really get into our data bags. In the post-launch section, the post-launch stage, this is where we learn how to read analytics, website analytics, social media analytics, all the things, so that way we can make better decisions in our business. Like I said, you want to know what works, what didn't work, and what needs tweaking. That way you can have a successful business, okay? The meaning of insanity, y'all, is doing the same thing over and over again when you know that it doesn't work. So why do something that you know doesn't work, or why do something blindly that you don't even understand why it works, when you can just reflect on data and create a strategy plan that actually works for you? You'll also work through some entrepreneurship fears and mindset blocks, because after the post-launch, that's where you really like venture off into the entrepreneurship world. Okay. So I saw that Lisa asked, how long do you keep the course for? And can you use it at a later time for another launch? Yes, you can use it at a later time. Right now, you can keep the course for half of a year. So you have access to it for half of the year. Let me tell you why I did that. The reason why I put a time limit on this course, because yes, I could have kept it open indefinitely as far as, you can tap in whenever you want. But one of the biggest things that I keep seeing is that people have been putting off their launch for months, for years. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to join the Ultimate Launch course and continue to put off your launch for months and years to come. That is not the point of that. I don't feel good when you do that. Heck, you don't feel good when you do that. I want you to get into this course, learn what you need to learn. So go through the modules and the lessons and learn all the things. If you do join for paid in full, you get to get my eyes on your work and get the feedback from me. And then you get to go back and tweak whatever it is that you need to tweak. Heck, even without the paid in full, you have the group chat so you can get feedback from the other ladies. And whenever I hop in, you get feedback from me in a summarized type of format. You get that, you work on the course, you get the feedback, you tweak and you make it better, right? And then you can then go through the course again as you're actively doing the launch. So as you're actually launching, you can then go through side by side just to, as a refresher. That's how we timed it out to be. So we timed it out to be 6 months so that you can launch on time and you have enough time to go through the course, get feedback, and go through the course again as you're refining things. So I hope that answered your question, Lisa. Makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah, we don't want no sleepers over here, okay? My name is the Brand Hustler for a reason. So we need to get those brands out to the world. We need to get that business up and running. Let's do this. As much help as I can give you, I do it within the course, right? And so those are the 4 stages that the course really goes through. And within those stages, you have the 10 modules. They're divided among those stages. And those modules cover everything and every step that I said here today. Obviously, there are things that, the intricate details that go into all of these steps that I wasn't able to really share today, but we thought about those intricate details and we've included them as lessons. So things like how to set up your landing page, that's a lesson. Things like how to set up the automations, that's a lesson. Things like what are brand guidelines and how to create them, that's a lesson. We even give you brand guideline templates. That way you can just plug and play. We give you a content calendar. And some of our students last time, they had the content ideas, but then they were like, how do I divide when I'm going to post it? So guess what? The content calendar that we made, it will literally tell you when to post all the content ideas that you have. It's like you plug in your content ideas that obviously you have developed from watching the other lessons, and then the content calendar will spit out the dates that you need to post whatever content, which is really cool. And then we also have a lot of other things in there. Like I said, we talk about influencers and paid promo and how to secure them for your launch. I give you a contract template. So if you don't know like what a contract should look like for an influencer, lucky enough, I am technically an influencer, and lucky enough, I have a really good lawyer. So my lawyer has even looked over the contract template for me before I was able to give it to y'all. So that contract template, you can, obviously you need to switch out some things in there, but it's a template that you can use when you want to hire influencers. All of the email campaigns that I talked about, welcome, thank you, abandoned, pre-launch, they all have templates as well that you plug and play. Your goal planning, we have templates for that. We got a lot of stuff in here, like a lot of stuff in the course that I could sit here and talk about the course for hours, but I don't want to do that because I'm kind of hungry, to be honest. But as you can see, the Ultimate Launch course is a huge value. And like I told someone earlier, if you were thinking about doing one-on-one with me to get help for your first launch, second launch, relaunch, launch of a collection, the Ultimate Launch course is a better bang for your buck. To be completely honest, a better bang for your buck for sure. Delicia said, can you make a video about making my own course? I don't know if I would ever do that. The reason why is because my audience, they own products. They own physical products mostly. Sometimes they own electronic products, such as ebooks and stuff like that. But that course area is not something that I really teach, at least not right now. Maybe in the future, I may start teaching like how to create courses and all that, but there's still things that I am working on as far as like which course platform I actually like, or, how are some ways I can improve all of my courses and all the things. So yeah, I won't make a video about that. There's a video out there by Modern Millie. She's an influencer coach, but she actually talks. I think she has 1 or 2 videos on how she built her course. So I would say check that out. Chronicles of Des, what is the average launch time you would want to take to launch your brand? Oh, and by the way, guys, if you have any questions about the course or about launching, building a brand, anything like that, drop it in the chat box and I will answer them, okay? So let me know. So now I want to get into the Q&A section a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions. Now that I explained the Ultimate Launch course to you, what do you think about it? And do you have any questions about it? Let me know. And also, let me know if you have questions about anything else. So, Des, as far as the average launch time that you want to take to launch your brand, thank you for asking that, because one of the things that I didn't mention was that I like to think about my pre-launch stage, which is the time before my doors to my store actually open. I like to make that 30 days, or I'll go up to 60 days, but I won't go past 60 days or lower than 30 days. So my pre-launch period is typically 30 to 60 days, and then doors open up. Once doors open up, that first month, I treat it as my entire launch. So that first month, there's a goal there, right? So actually, let me reverse. Your launch strategy is split up into the segments that I said for the course, because it follows the exact like breakdown timeline that I use. So I use a timeline where I go through pre-work, I go through pre-launch, I go through live and launch, I go through post-launch. Your pre-launch stage is 30 to 60 days. The way that I move is it's usually 30 days, to be completely honest. And then your live and launch stage is the first month that you're open up for business, so it can only be a month. And your post-launch is the following month after you've opened. Okay. Regina said, I have too many questions. Well, if you have so many questions, Regina, I hope you signed up for ULC, because you can get those questions answered either on the live Q&A sessions that we have every month, or you could get them answered in the group chat that we have. So write all those questions down, because I know it may be a lot to ask on this live. Write all the questions down that you have, and then ask them once you join ULC. The Lounge Boutique says, what are your thoughts on drop shipping? Do you recommend having inventory, or can you do both? I highly recommend having your own inventory and not drop shipping. The reason why is because I'm heavy on building your own brand. When you drop ship, you are at the mercy of whatever that company is going to do. So your brand might get dragged in the dirt because that company decides to ship your stuff late. Not only that, but when it comes to just having certain contact points within your brand and along your customer journey, you're not able to have because you're using a drop shipper. So I recommend having product on hand. But that was a great question, the Lounge Boutique. And honestly, I think a lot of people think drop shipping is a great way out when they don't want to have products on hand, when they want to offer like a whole ton of products. In reality, you don't need a ton of products to launch with. You just need the right set of products to launch with. We talk about that a little bit in modules 1 and modules 2 of the course. But I actually shared some insight on a YouTube video recently about how many products you need. Honestly, the way that I explain it in the course is, once you figure out what unique angle that you're taking, once you profit check your business, it should be clear on what your starting lineup is going to be. Okay? You're welcome, the Lounge Boutique. Lisa said, hold on, let me put this back here. The launch course. Okay. So Lisa said, what other platforms will we need to pay for or have? Examples, website, email builder, etc. Okay, cool beans. Thanks for asking that question. So when it comes to launching a new business, I'm guessing you're in the process of launching a new business, correct, Lisa? Let me know. And also let me know what type of business it is. Waist trainer. Oh, whoa, what? Hold on. I got to brag for a minute. A waist trainer, one of my most successful clients, her name is Stephanie, and she owns Fashion Dolls Boutique. And she sells waist trainers, the post-surgery stuff, that whole lineup. She sells that. And she also sells like form-fitting clothing as well. And so I got excited when I saw that because she is one of my most successful clients. When I tell you I met with Stephanie, what year was that? 2019. And she went from struggling to make consistent $500 like months to now she consistently makes 5-figure months. So she's making over 10, 20, $30,000. She's made so much money that she now has her own store in the mall in Florida. Yes, she is amazing. I actually have her testimonial. I feel like I posted on my page before. It's way down on my Instagram story, but I have her testimonial on one of my other programs that's for people who are in business and stuck with making money, rebrand to elevate. I actually have her testimonial, like her video testimonial, her screenshots, and her picture and everything on that website. Stephanie is so bomb. So I got excited when you said that. But to answer your question, and you see that what I teach works and it will work for you. To answer your question, the other platforms that you need to pay for, in addition to getting the ultimate launch course, you're going to need to have a website. I highly recommend having a Shopify website. Shopify, they have plans that start out at $29. They also have a trial period, but you'll need to have a website. You'll need to have an email marketing platform. I give the students of ULC my Klaviyo code, so that way you get a free trial for all of like the premium features on Klaviyo. You also have Klaviyo for free until you reach over 250 email subscribers as well. So you get that too. Another thing that you may or may not want to pay for is like an additional like resource to actually make shipping easier for you. So something like ShipStation. I also have a link for ShipStation as well, which gives you the ability to try out ShipStation for free. And then in addition to that, you just want to make sure you have an accounting software. There's a free one called Wave that's really good. It's very similar to QuickBooks. And then you want to make sure that you pay for your domain, which we actually cover in the Hustler Starter Pack, which is a bonus you get if you sign up today. By tonight at 11:59, you will get the Hustler Starter Pack bonus, which covers how to get your own domain, like your branded domain. So it could say www.yourboutique.com. And then you also want to get like a professional email address. Hustler Starter Pack also covers that as well. But the resource that I use for my domains are about $12 a year. And then my email addresses that I pay for, I got a whole bunch. And I think they're about $6 or $7 each every month. So nothing too expensive. Your heavy hitters are going to be once you hit over 250 email subscribers, which you will do if you join the launch course and you execute the email list building strategies that we have built in within there. If you execute those strategies it allowed me to build my email list pre-launch to 1,000 when I was launching my shoe boutique. Those email list building strategies has allowed me to build my list to this day, where I have so many email subscribers that I don't know what to do with. So I had to hire a copywriter. But you will pay the most for your email marketing platform. Shopify is going to be $29, and whatever apps that you decide to add on to Shopify. The cool thing about working with me though, and having me as your coach or your strategist, is I am a Shopify like beast. So there are certain things that people pay for apps to do that you can just code into the store yourself. And so if you join the Ultimate Launch course and you're working on building your website and you want maybe the ability to have a pop-up say that somebody recently purchased something from you or something like that, I can give you a code to let that pop up on your site without you needing to need an app for it. I also have themes that my agency built out that we store within a folder. that we can use and customize. And so there has been times where I needed to share that theme with somebody who was struggling to build their own website, but wanted it to be custom and not to be like a theme that Shopify had out for everybody. And so I gave them the ability to use my custom theme that my team has built out. So even if you wanted to do that, because a lot of the themes that we build for my agency, we actually code in cool things like the recent purchases pop up, or this amount of people are looking at this product right now. Even sometimes, just to put y'all up on game, that thing that you see where it says this amount of people are looking at a certain product, sometimes that could be fake. Okay, because we have coded it into some of the things for our clients as a way of building social proof. It works though. So that's just some little gems right there. Lessa said, yes, Lessa. So join the Ultimate Launch course. I hope to see you in there. And what I completely forgot to say, y'all, is the Ultimate Launch course, we close the doors for enrollment on Sunday. Sunday at 11:59 Eastern time, because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So at 11:59 Eastern time, the doors to the Ultimate Launch is going to close. The reason why we're doing it this way is because last time we didn't have a group chat function. This time we have a group chat, and we really want us to like move sort of like a unit. Although the course is self-paced and you could stay up as late as you want, binge as much as you want, do all the things, we still want it to be a sense of community within the group chat app, because I know how much I needed that when I was launching, and I know how valuable it can be to have people who understand what you're going through, who understand your frustrations, who will cheer on even the little wins. It could be something like, y'all, I finally figured out my problem and solution statement, or y'all, I finally figured out what the color of my labels was going to be. Something as small as that your friends or family may look at you like, okay, girl, what? It's not a big a deal. You can get little things like that cheered on by the people in your community. So because we wanted to really enforce this community aspect, we want everyone to kind of start on the same foot. So the way that we're doing it is, once you join the launch course, enrollment closes on Sunday, and then we open up the course the following Monday. That way we can get the community kind of moving in sync in a way as much as we can. And then also, because I have those monthly lives that I do within the Ultimate Launch course, it just makes sense to have everybody start at the same time versus starting all over the place. Okay. Let's see. Do you discuss how to market a business with a higher price range? Example, 500 to 1,000 each. This is for a fashion boutique. I need to know what boutique it is that you have with $500 to $1,000 pieces, because that means you got some good stuff. I love it. Yes, all the strategies that I share within the Ultimate Launch course are applicable. Doesn't matter whether you have a low price point or a high price point. One of the most important parts, all of it is important, but one of my favorite parts, I should say, not the most important. One of my favorite lessons within the launch course is the pricing and profit class, where we talk about pricing your products based on your brand, not really based on what you think you should be pricing, but based on the 4 factors of pricing that has proven the test of time, right? And so whether you have a business with a really high price point, or whether you have a business with an average or low price point, these strategies are going to work for you, because guess what? You're doing all the brand work and stuff in the beginning modules, and it's all about just then executing and communicating that brand, so that way you connect with your audience and it converts with your audience as well. So all these marketing strategies work, right? And to put it into perspective, at the beginning, I mentioned that I'm going to share my story of what I did with my shoe boutique, but I also said that this became a repetition game for me. So it was repetition after a while, where I kept doing the same thing. Like, that was working, obviously, and improving to the point where I've used this strategy to launch something as low as $30, and I've used it to launch something as high as like $1,200. And it has worked. I have clients who have used it for a range of things as well. And they sell things in the hundreds. Some clients sell things in the $50 range. So it's definitely effective. No matter the price range, it definitely will help you with the higher price range. Honestly, you might be one of my favorite students with the higher price range, because one of the things that I noticed with higher price range types of products, when you build out the brand, you can make it just so unique. You can make it so much more couture, so much more special. Like, and then you make the experience such an elevated and a VIP experience, that building out those types of customer journeys and those types of brand experiences are my favorite to do. So I hope that answers your question, Alexandria. I hope that answers your question. Let me know if that answered your question, or if you have a follow-up to that. Let's see, Brianna. And so we're almost at the 2-hour mark, y'all. If you've been here since the beginning, let me know in the chat. If you've been here since the beginning, let me know in the chat who actually stuck it out for almost 2 hours. We're 6 minutes away from 2 hours, and I think that's going to be my cutoff time. So if you have any additional questions, make sure that you drop them in the chat. But Brianna said, do you offer courses for people who want to do what you do? I enjoy this aspect of business, and I would like to be a business consultant. I'm currently working with a brand to launch a hairline. My first question for you, Brianna, would be, I guess, why do you want to switch from doing your hairline to offering courses? What's the reason for that? I'm just interested. Let me know that, because what I can say is that doing what I do honestly takes a lot of work, y'all. It's not as easy as we make it look. It takes a lot of work. And so I want to make sure, like, that we're on the same page when it comes to your motivation for doing that type of stuff. Because I'm on this end. I'm getting back into the product space. I'm getting back to the product space this year because I miss touching products so much. I wish that I still had a product business throughout this whole time, because I just love shipping orders. I just love doing the photo shoots. I just love doing all the things that comes with a product-based business. And that's me as the business that I do right now. So I'm just interested in what would make you as a product business want to do what I do. Let's see. Taisha said, do you have a course on how to build a social media following? Are you just starting out, Taisha, or how long have you been in business? Regina's still in the building. Wait, yes to which one, Taisha? You're just starting? Chronicles of Des. Girl, can you tell me your response to my time frame on launching your brand? My kids started running up and down as soon as you answered the question. I know you lying. I know you lying. Tell him I said, go sit down. Because I gave such a good answer to that question. Now I'm mad. But I don't mind. I'll repeat myself in a second. Let me answer Taisha's question first. So, Taisha, you're just starting, right? One of the things that I said when I was talking about the steps that I did to market my launch is I talked about building social media hype. I also talked about setting intentional goals, strategizing, and also amping up my launch hype with different things, whether it was social media, whether it was ads, paid promotion, influencers, which obviously we know influencers there on social media, right? And so the Ultimate Launch course, we have modules that focus on social media. So within module 3, for example, I talk about my content conversion system. That is a system that I still use to this day. And I teach every client, every student at every level this content conversion system. It is something that will allow you to create content that excites your audience, connects with your audience, and converts your audience. Once you have a content conversion system in place, or the content conversion system in place, I should say, where you have your segmented types of content and you know how to build out those segments of content while being the realest that you can possibly be as a product-based brand, the following will come to you. The reason that people are able to build large followings is because they connect to their audience in some way. If you didn't connect to the person that you follow or the brand that you follow in some way, you wouldn't be following them. The reason that we hit that follow button is because we saw something that was either relatable, we saw something that was either insightful, we saw something that was either helpful slash educational, and we made the decision to then follow them. So in the Ultimate Launch course, yes, there's an entire module. There's honestly like 2 modules that focus on how to actually get the core figured out for your social media. So that way the followers will come. And so one of the things that happened for me when I had my shoe boutique is I ended up having a little over 500 followers before I launched. And that was 30 days worth of work. And then I ended up hitting 1,000 within my first month after I launched. Another thing that happened to me was with this business, I started from 0 with the Brand Hustler. And within my second or third month, I was already at like 6,000 followers. I hit 10K within my first year, but that was a result of me creating content that actually converted. Another thing too that I want you to remember, Taisha, is it's not all about social media either. And so that's why within the Ultimate Launch course, we talk about email, we talk about ads, we talk about all the other things in addition to social media that will actually blow up your launch and blow up your business. So I hope that answered your question, Taisha. You're welcome. Okay, Des. So now back to you. So in terms of time frame for launch, the way that the Ultimate Launch course is split up is it's split up in a way that mimics the exact time frame that I do for every launch and for every client launch. It's split up into 4 stages: pre-work, pre-launch, live and launch, and then post-launch stage. Your pre-work is where you hash out all of the important prep stuff, but then your pre-launch stage is the 30 to 60 day time frame before you actually open up shop. So this is where you build hype, you build excitement, you build all that for you to actually open up those doors. Your live and launch stage is then the first full month that you're actually open for business. And then your post launch stage is the first full month after your first launch month. So in total, you have a launch timeline that's about 90 days, or if you decide to do the pre-launch of a 60-day time period versus a 30-day time period, you then have a launch time frame that could be a little over 90 days. But in reality, it's about 90 days, but your actual open time for when you open business is only 30 to 60 days in, depending on how much pre-launch time that you actually want for your business. Let me know if that answers your question, Des. Let me know. Brianna said, I'm consulting with a brand to launch her hairline. I've done it once or twice. I'm a virtual assistant. I do social media management, graphic design. I also help create LLCs, etc. You're welcome, Des. Okay, so Brianna, to answer your question, no, I don't offer courses to help people do what I do. In the future, I may offer like a one-time event or something like that where I sit down with aspiring service providers and I kind of show them the blueprint of what I did. I don't do that right now because I feel like somebody asked a question similar to this actually earlier with the courses, but I don't do that right now because I feel like there's certain things that I am still tweaking or like working on. Not only that, but I just want to make sure that I'm solid first in this space and then my product business space before I venture off and start training consultants, right? I don't even know if I would call it training consultants because it would just be providing insight, honestly. But what I would recommend for you to do, Brianna, is you're a VA, so you do a mix of everything. I have a VA and I understand how like multi-dimensional you can be. Figure out which of those things that you do that you actually have a passion for and you love doing, and then build your knowledge and skill set on that one thing. What won't work is when you come out the gate trying to do like everything. Not saying that you are, but if you come out the gate trying to be like a jack of all trades, you end up being a queen of none. So make sure that you kind of find your lane, find what that is for you, and then go after it. So for me, my lane is branding, right? I have a lot of legs that connect to building a brand. And so when I talk about things such as launching the right way, a lot of the lessons within the Ultimate Launch course, they are brand related. We start off with elements of your brand. We start off with target audience and your idea, finding your value, developing your brand's unique edge. We talk about visuals. We talk about all those things. Your content and the content conversion system derives from your brand as well. So everything that I do is around that. I don't really gear too far off of that at all. It all has like a core purpose. So I would say just look at that, and also don't build a team too fast. You said you're making a plan and making a team. I literally didn't have a team when I first started. My first 2 hires were interns. So you don't think that you need to build a team too fast just because you think everybody else is doing it. You want to make sure that you have the structure for a team, the money for a team, in addition to the money for taxes and all the systems and processes that you'll be using. But anyway, any other questions about the launch course, product-based businesses, anything like that before we hop off tonight? For my people in here who are interested in the ultimate launch course, make sure that you click the link that is in the pinned comment. I'm going to post it again for you. And let me know, for those that are interested in the launch course, like, let me know what you're most excited about with the launch course. Like, which part of the launch course sound the best to you? Which part of it was the most exciting? Which part of the launch course sounded the most exciting to you? Chronicles of Des said this was amazing. Thank you. You're welcome. Let me see. Which part of what I said tonight was the most exciting for the launch course, and which one, and what did I say that was the most insightful, I should say. So what did I say that was most insightful? And then what about the launch course is the most exciting for you? Let me know. And then I am hungry. Let me know. And then we'll hop off. And where's Regina? Is Regina still here? She was still in the building a few minutes ago. Y'all, if you're on the fence about joining the course, take it from me. Like I said before, my investments, I always get back. What you really want to ask yourself is, what if you actually invest in the course? And what if you actually put the effort into launching this new business or new product of yours? You don't want to be on the opposite end where you're wondering what would have happened if you would have made that step. You rather invest in it, do the work, launch the business, execute the launch to the best of your ability, and reap the results from it. Okay? Reap the results from it. And even if you don't get the exact result that you want when you launch for whatever reason, guess what? You have the tools to audit, analyze, and literally reinvent your business as you move forward. Not only that, but you're on the other side of things. You've already done the thing. Okay? Stop straddling the fence with marketing your launch and launching your actual business. You got the products, you got the vendors, you did the legwork. It's time to actually launch that baby, okay? And the fact that you have this launch course that I have put together from my years of experience, this is your sign. Take the sign, invest in the course, work with me to make sure that this launch is the best launch that you possibly can. Lisa, I actually answered the product question already earlier. And that is something that we talk about in detail in the first 2 modules of the course, where I talk about how to identify your starting lineup for your products, because it derives from you knowing your product value and your unique edge that your brand has. Okay. You also want to reflect on certain things such as your budget, pricing, and things like that. Okay. Chronicles of Des says that the course as a whole sounds golden. The social media hype plan was the most intriguing, and being able to generate sales solely off of email. Yes, for sure. For sure. Generating sales off of email is a different type of brag. Okay, it is a different type of brag. I helped someone before build their email list from like 200-ish to over 2,000 in about like a month or two. I think it was a month and a half to 2 months. And she told me that every time she sent an email, she would like somebody would buy within minutes. That's the power of email, right? It's like, you know that when you send an email, it's going to the person you intended it to go to, versus when you post on Instagram, for example, you kind of got to depend on the algorithm to show your post. So email is definitely powerhouse. Is a powerhouse for sure. Lisa says, sounds good. Yes. I keep saying Lisa and Lisa. I'm going back and forth. But Lisa, I think it is. Yes. So you definitely want to join the launch course. You'll get that question answered and then some, because don't focus on all the knickknacks, right? And this is something that I said at the beginning. A lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, people who want to launch, you focus on all the things that don't really matter versus focusing on actually marketing it. If you focus on, okay, yeah, how many products should I get? Okay, you get that amount of products. You focus on, okay, how should I actually put together the shoelaces to take this picture? Okay, whatever. How should I actually which is the best theme for my Shopify website or something like that? You worry about the little things when you miss the big picture, such as building your brand, knowing who your audience is, knowing how you're going to reach them and how you're going to market them and the strategies that you're going to execute. That chunk, that branding piece is a beast. That's what carries your business. A business does not succeed without a brand at the heart. Point blank, period. There's no business out here that is surviving without a solid brand foundation. And that is what we teach within the course within the first few modules. I teach you how to build a strong brand foundation, and then we learn how to communicate that to our target audience so that way we can make some money, okay? So don't focus too much on the little things. Focus on the bigger things that actually drive impact, okay? Chronicles of Dez, yes, I did answer this, but I'll answer it again. The course, you get access to the course for 6 months. So the way that we're running it is that the course doors close Sunday night at 11:59. The course is you'll have access to join the group and all the things once you join, but then the actual course modules and stuff, it doesn't unlock until the following Monday. That way, everyone as a whole can kind of move somewhat in sync. As far as the amount of time that you have half a year within the course. So when we open up the course, you'll have pretty much half a year from that point to watch as many lessons as you want over and over again, to go through the course. I recommend going through the course, learning the things, executing the things, using the templates, and getting my feedback, the other ladies in the course feedback, getting feedback from them, and getting feedback from me, most importantly, and then applying the changes to it. And then you can revisit the course again as you're actually launching. So we timed it for 6 months for a reason. We don't want you to straddle the fence, because we found that a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs have been putting off their launch over and over and over and over again. We don't want this course to keep doing that. We want this course to light the fire under your butt to actually get out there and launch the business. There's so much on the other side of launching. One of my favorite hustle babes is Ziana, who launched Zion Organic Essentials last year. She actually is celebrating her year anniversary now. And we talked about things like the bottles that she was going to choose, how she was going to fit the labels, finding the pump for her bottles, all the things. We talked about that, I want to say, in like October or something in 2021, or October or maybe November in 2021. And this girl was gearing up to launch and had her launch day, I think the first week of February 2022. So she took about what is that? A solid 2 months and launched her business. And guess what? She sold out in 48 hours. After that, she ended up selling over 114 products in the span of about 2 months. Insane, incredible. And even now she recently launched like something else, and she ran out of that and she had to restock it and announce a restock. Right? So stop putting off your launch, y'all. There's so much like success and then so much to learn when you actually do launch the dang thing. So, the course is timed at 6 months to light the fire under your butt. It's all you need. Trust me. If you are a true like hustle babe at heart and you're really serious about making this business work for you and building a brand that you can, eventually use the money to invest in land, invest in real estate, give to, your kids for their college tuition or whatever dreams they have. If you want to do all of that, you want to make sure that you first invest in yourself and stop putting your dreams on the back burner due to fear or due to excuses, honestly. Okay. So Regina said, I'm ready to just start over with my t-shirt brand. Yes, Regina, and I'm here to help you with that. Okay. So yeah, this was good, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed the live. If you need to catch the replay of it, it should be up as soon as I end this. If you came in late and you want to catch some of the gems that I dropped earlier on, we went through a lot today, right? So I talked about my launch successes and the story of my boutique's launch success and how I was able to smash my launch goals, how I was able to actually see double of what I was aiming to get, how I was able to build an email list of over 1,000 before I launched, how I was able to build a strong social media following before, and how that continued to build after I launched. We talked about all that. And then we also talked about the steps that I took with that launch and with every other launch since then. So the 10 steps that I took to have that successful shoe boutique launch, the 10 steps that I took to have the 11K in 11-day launch, the 25K in 5 days launch, the 40K month launch, the 8-month without social media but with email launch. We talked about all that. And then I shared about the new and improved Ultimate Launch Course 2.0, which is just the bomb.com. And then I answered y'all launch questions and stuff. So I hope this is really good. I was only supposed to be on here for like an hour. Andy is going to kill me because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Andy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's asleep. Andy's going to kill me because he was waiting to have dinner. So I'm going to see y'all next time, whenever next time as I go live. But if you join the Ultimate Launch Course, I'm going to see you inside the Ultimate Launch Course in the group chat and when we go live in there every single month. Okay, so sign up for the Ultimate Launch Course. I'll leave the link for it and everything in the description box, and I'll make sure that I pin a comment. It does close. Enrollment closes on Sunday, so make sure that you join before then. And if you're interested in the Hustler Starter Pack, which includes how to get your EIN, your LLC, a vendor starter list, how to get your own custom domain, your personalized email address, how to set up back end of Shopify and all the things. If you're interested in the Hustler Starter Pack, then you need to sign up today because that offer is off the table after 11:59 tonight. Okay, so sign up tonight if you want access to the Hustler Starter Pack bonus and join the Ultimate Launch Course, y'all. And I'll see y'all. Let's, cheers to some really successful launches. Bye, y'all. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.